Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And before we dive into tonight's training, I also want to say how excited I am for everything coming up for next month. As you can see on the screen, and why I'm not showing my face yet, I have the trainings posted for you for June. Yes, starting off with next Tuesday. We will be doing why most travel agents never get consistent bookings. We're going to go over the digital command center. I'm going to break it down next week. And then the week after, we're doing a live travel Q&A. We're going to talk about my exact weekly workflow, which is important. The travel agent habits that actually make money. And maybe even towards the end of the month, we're talking about how I would start over as a travel agent in 2026. The truth about being a travel agent that nobody talks about. And then I'm doing a part 2 deep dive on everything as a funnel, where I'm going to break down the funnels. And then, of course, at the end of the month, I'm going to do how travel agents can look more professional online. So if you haven't already, make sure you like this video, make sure you like my channel, subscribe to it, and tap the bell so you always get notifications when I go live. Yes. So let's go ahead, and I'm pretty excited for tonight. If you didn't hear me from when I was on the live travel Q&A, I absolutely adore downtown travel, and I am going to talk all things downtown travel tonight. I mean, we're going to go through the platform, we're going to talk about how it works, what type of bookings it's useful for, and just how travel advisors can use it as another tool for their business. Yeah? So if you're live here, I want to know that you are live. So go ahead and comment hello for me so I can see you in the chat here. I'm in my studio now, so I can see you. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Hey. And if you happen to catch this on a replay, I still want to know that you stopped by. So go ahead and comment replay for me so that I know that you were here. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take all this fancy stuff off your screen real quick, and we're going to pull up downtown travel. So I'm going to do basically like a deep dive in a setting of all the way from registering with them to the point of going even further and doing, like the whole entire booking process, etc. So I'm pretty excited about it. Now, for those who have not registered for downtown travel, let's start there first. You can find downtown travel in our travel cafe, and it's in alphabetical order. It is one of our recommended vendors, so you will find it right here. Once you open it, you do have to request it and get approval, etc. But you can find all of the details on how to register with it here. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you something about them. They are not the easiest to kind of follow, and there's a couple of places that you can make a mistake. So I want to clarify that in case any of you haven't registered with them, so you don't make that mistake. Okay. The first thing that you're going to see here, is where it says register here on the website. I'm logged into it. But if you were to go register, it's right here. And then when you're registering, you have to make sure that you register as an agency. I know normally we register as an agent, but it doesn't work that way for downtown travel. You have to register as an agency, and it shows you right here too. It has pictures. So when you're filling this out, you're going to actually put your agency name. You're not going to lead as it says, do not use Archer Travel as your agency name. You're going to put your agency name. So like mine says Travel with Ash. That's what it is. So you will put that in there, and then your name of your company, and then whatever you prefer. And then the same as your phone number, you will put your phone number. Okay. They will scroll down at the bottom when you go to the registration. What I actually ask you here, you do have to have like a social media link, so just put like your Facebook page or something. But down here at the bottom where it asks for our information, you will put our IATA number here, and that's where you put I'm affiliated with the consortium. Okay, so once you put that in there, you will come down, and of course you can find Archer Travel right here. Okay. And that's where you will put the information. Where did you hear about us? Just put Archer Travel, and then I'm not a robot, and then register. Okay. But I'm going to tell you something. I am already logged into this, so I will give you a little further deep dive because I feel like that's just not significant enough. So hold on. Sign in. All right. So in here, they actually have a part where it will show you like a user guide. Let me go to it real quick. Here it is. All right, so I know I'm clicking everywhere. Hold on. Let me get to the user guide part, okay? Because it's a little bit more complicated than just registering. So that part right there that I showed you, just registration. Okay. Now, coming in here, once you get registered, I already showed you this part here, right? We're at the part where you choose agency, you put in the information, how did you hear about us, etc. Right? We put all this stuff in here. We're good to go. I'm affiliated with the host. We pick that, and then we're registered. Okay. You will be able to, of course, you'll get access, you can log in, etc. But you're going to see something right here. To enable ticketing, please submit a ticketing application within the next 7 business days by following the guidelines you see on your screen when you're logged in. If you have any questions, reach out to them because they'll help you, okay? But once you sign in, you will see this part where it says activate ticketing. Now, if you go to mine, you will see approved for ticketing, yeah? It's because I had to go in and fill out all this information to get approved for ticketing. And there's very specific reasons on why they do this, okay? So for them, in their mind, we are an agency working with Archer. So in their mind, we are an agency. And that's what they're thinking when we register with them, okay? So we got to activate ticketing for our agency, even though we have a consortium. So we do this for a specific reason when it comes to downtown travel. They have this right here. They use multiple fraud protective services to ensure ticketing can be done efficiently and safety. So they do multiple checks to make sure that we can have activation to market to ticket because of the fraud, etc. Okay, so that's why they do it. First of all, first thing that they're going to do is that they will run a check on your agency to make sure that you are in good credit standing and it can be a trusted partner to work with. Once submitted, we will review and provide it with step 1. Now, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of you guys automatically are like, oh, what does this mean? We have to put in our banking information, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yep. It does require that. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It doesn't take any money from you. It doesn't charge you or anything. It's making sure that you are not a scammer. That's what it's doing. It does require for you to put that in there. And mine's in there. I've never had a problem with it. Nothing. Now, they do not charge you, okay? They don't ever, it's not for that. It's to protect you against fraud and protect them against fraud. That's what it is, okay? So after you do that, you sign the contract with them. You're signing that you have the agreement on behalf of the agency. You understand the agreement. And then, of course, that, outstanding funds will be paid. That's what it is, okay? And then check in the box, you agree. Here, right here, it says we have created a contract matching each agency and agent responsible for the ticketing that they do on the best agent. This is a standard form for any agent and would need to be filled out to work with the consolidator, okay? That's exactly what it is. I know a lot of you are going to be like, it's asking for a lot of information. It thinks you're an agency. It thinks that you're like Archer. And technically you are like Archer. You are an independent contractor of Archer, but you are an agency. So it's running you as an agent, okay? So we come in here, and then it comes to the second part, register a credit card. Now, it does this because it's a dual authentic system. So it takes your bank, it takes your credit card, and then it will make sure that the credit card you have on file with us, it can be used to process payments, but we do not ever suggest that. We always use the client's payment, right? So then it's going to ask you for that part. It will tell you as a status, as it updates. It will say sign contract, register your credit card, and then underneath that, it'll say you are approved, okay? Now, when you are doing the booking, I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, okay, what if they use my card, da, da, da. You don't have to worry about that, okay? When you do the booking process, let's just say it looks just like this. We come in here, we search the booking, etc. We come in here, all right, let's go find flights, blah, blah. That's exactly what it looks like. Go in here, you book, okay? We're done. And then down at the bottom, this is what I want to show you. When it comes to the booking part, the difference is that instead of we're clicking, this is ours, okay, check payment, that's us, but we are going to choose charge passenger credit card, okay? Once you charge that passenger credit card, you can even come in here and adjust your own profit for flights. Then it will come in and it will ask you for their information, and then it will say ticket. After you do that, it'll start the ticketing process, and then it will track your order, okay? Now, I know that's a far deep dive, and I'm going to show you everything to where you understand this, but the reason I'm showing you this is so that you understand why. And a lot of people will deviate from using downtown travel because of these things right here, but it's because it thinks you're an agency. So it's literally registering you as an agency. Like it even gives you a part once you're registered for my agents because it thinks that you're an agency. Okay. So that is how downtown travel works. Now, Once everything gets approved, it'll say status approved for ticketing, and then it will say Archer has to approve you as well, that you are a consortium of them. So it will say Archer Travel approved. Okay. It doesn't actually run your credit. How do I explain it? It ran the bank, so it can verify that I have a real bank and I have a real credit card, right? Which is technically my debit card, but it's a real debit card. They can ticket me if I actually needed to, right? Gives me the ability to have this right here. Now, when I first started, it had a $10,000 limit on it, but now since I've been here for long enough, it has an unlimited credit card. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about that too, because it's kind of a deep dive for explanations, but I wanted to understand it. So that's why I kind of went and kind of searched on how to find out everything. Okay. So the thing is this right here. Let me see. Okay. How can I show this to you? This is the orders section, which we'll get to that in a second. But the reason it is right here is because you have to, in order to get the unlimited credit card or to get any kind of credit check, etc., to get rid of this, you have to be an active agent for 6 months or more. And it also depends on Archer. Archer has to put the approval, etc., in there. And then on top of that, it says you can't be inactive for 6 months either. So even if you go inactive, it also can affect it too. So that is why that is set up that way. Yours might not look like this. It might have a credit limit. It might have a limited credit card, etc. Okay. So whatever that is, we don't care about it. And I'm going to tell you why. Don't use it. Okay. Is it there for you to use? Yes. But will I ever suggest using it? No. Okay. We don't need to use that. Okay. We need to use the credit card for the passenger always. Okay. Now if we're booking for ourselves, that's on you. You do your own due diligence. You do whatever you need to, right? But when we are ticketing, we always check the part where it says passenger credit card. We're not ever going to use our own credit cards for the bookings. Okay. And the reason that is because they have done so many updates in the travel industry. If we use our credit card, especially for a flight, we are responsible for the return of it if something were to happen, and returns can take time, and you don't want to be caught in the mess of using your own credit card, right? So does everybody understand that? Okay. I'm going to check in my studio real quick. If there's not anybody understanding, I will answer you. But that is how downtown travel works. They think that we are an agency, so they require agencies to get approved, and that's how they approve us. They verify who we are. So that is the beginning part of downtown travel. Yeah, that is the setup part, and that's kind of the deep dive because they don't tell you all of that in the travel cafe. So that's why I pull up that user guide, because it goes all the way through to tell you everything that you need to know about it, right? The user guide is also, you can find it right here. It's right there next to the part. It'll tell you how to access the orders. Once you place an order, like as in you ticket someone, it'll show up under orders. It looks like right here. Order notifications. I just got a notification, so I need to check it. And this is orders. So every time I do a booking, that's where it shows up. And that's the notifications if something changes. Okay. Now tonight I will not be opening these two to protect my information and my client's information. Okay. I booked my flight for Hawaii through here, so that's probably what that is. But you can always find your orders. You can manage your orders and everything inside of here. And they have really, really good customer service. Okay. I actually did a booking, and there was a part of the name that didn't go all the way like through. And when it did that, it kind of looked funny. So I called them, and it was actually like direct help and not just like like contact us 1-800 number. It's direct help, and they'll call you back too. So I like them. Okay. But here you can go in there and manage it. Normally, most of it you have to actually call. So just get used to calling for that. Okay. Next, we have the how-to guide for the hotels, etc. It's the same thing, and we'll get into all of these tools. But I just want you guys to understand, like, the part where it says here, where it says check payment or charge credit card. Like, that is probably the most important part, and that we have an agency fee that we can add into. Okay. Have the ability to add in to make sure that you're getting paid, and you will have that right here in that. Okay. So once you guys have that, you can have your ability to track your orders. That's what it kind of looks like. Since I can't show it to you, this is what it looks like for them to make sure, that the orders are put through. It'll tell you the status of it, and as well, it'll also have the part where it's like the payment, due dates, etc. So it's pretty nice. It's very established in there. Okay. And that's pretty much it for them. If you guys ever need help for them, of course, you can always reach out to them and they will help you. All right. But now let's go take a look at downtown travel, especially for those who have registered and you're like, okay, where do I go? How do I start this? All right. I got you. So let me close all this out here. Here is downtown travel. This is what it looks like when you first log in. I really suggest just kind of doing like a deep dive on all things downtown travel. Okay. They have a lot of different tools and a lot of different things that they can book. So the Best Agent Pro is the main booker. They are like the engine for downtown travel. It has B2B air, it has hotels, it has packages, and just an entire booking engine. So we will get into that. Okay. On top of that, they also kind of host avant-garde vacations, and these are tours. But listen, before I go into any deeper, this does not work with these here, okay? This is its own little entity. It's inside of downtown travel, but it's kind of on its own. So that is kind of different for you to register for, etc. But they do technically run by downtown travel, okay? In here, inside of the booking engine, you will also be able to book travel insurance. It has commission of 25%, which is probably the highest I've seen. And their travel insurance is really, really good. I booked it for my flight for Hawaii. It was only $20 to add it to my flight. And I've got it all the way to like dental emergencies covered while I'm there. So recommend it. Okay. On top of that, they have car rental worldwide. I know, honestly, for the car rentals, I feel like we get paid the same with Expedia. So you guys can check them out to see if it's cheaper. But they do a lot of Europe stuff. So if you need help with Europe, then that's where you kind of want to go for these. They also do transfers at 2,000 plus airports. They do a lot, and eSIMs, whatever that is. But they have a whole bunch of stuff that we can kind of help people with when it comes to international travel. Okay. On top of that, I know you see this part where it says we pay your commissions through ACH directly to your bank account. They also do competitions for sales. So if you're trying to do a lot of sales or you're already naturally doing sales using downtown travel, you guys can get a $500 gift card. They do it every month. Okay. And they'll have a lot of different deals that are right here that will go back and forth. But that's pretty much it for the main page. Okay. Now I'm going to go into this one to show you all things here, which will have all of these components here. But let's talk about this one right here first. Okay. So not only do they do hotels, packages, etc., but they also do tours, which is this guy right here. You do have to create a separate registration for them, but they're inside of downtown travel. A lot of people use this for Europe. Yeah, primarily. But they do Africa, Asia, Middle East, Latin America. They do family vacations, food, heritage, and even honeymoons. Okay, so I like them primarily because they also do where you can craft your own like trip. So if you're one of those people that are like building a tour and you need help with it, they can do that too. They do packages and they even do group travel. Downtown travel in general is really good for group travel. Okay, but this is kind of different. They have a different group destination kind of setting, and it is a different vendor, but it still lays inside downtown travel. Okay, so just give you two. Look, I gave you two vendors today that you can try. But if you're doing like Japan and like if you're doing like these big tours, check them out as a possible contender to kind of add to your tool belt to find different locations for tours, etc., because they have that too. Okay, so coming back here, we went over that one. Let's get into actual downtown travel, shall we? So the Best Agent Pro is how you can access technically all of these over here. You can find it right in here, and this is what it looks like. So the first one it has is air tickets, then they have hotels, they have the ability to do packages, and they also can do insurance. Okay. After you process it, it'll show order and then order notifications. They also have something really cool in here. Look at this too. So they have lost bags, which I thought was interesting. But as a valued downtown travel customer, effective June 2023, all airfare purchases made on thebestagent.pro will automatically receive the lost baggage service courtesy of Blue Ribbon Bags. Basically, it tracks and expedites the lost luggage. So if they have a situation where their luggage is lost, they will report it to the airline. Then we email them here, and then they will actually help find the bags. Okay, they do a whole bunch of stuff. Now I know that's a little extra, and like you're like, okay, what? But like, hey, you never know what can happen on a booking. Okay, so they do have a whole thing for lost bags, which is pretty cool. Now, continuing, they have cars, they have groups. The group section here, you actually get brought here, so you just have to log in and click groups. I don't know why it's like, I guess it's like the group feature of them, but that's basically what it is. Okay, and then they have slice pay. Let's talk about slice pay. So slice pay is kind of cool. Gives them the ability to kind of save now, travel later. We always push that, right? It's like a Klarna or like an Affirm, but like for travel is basically what it is. Okay. I tried it out when I was booking my flights for Hawaii, and they were only charging me like roughly about like maybe $50, $60 it was for the interest. So they weren't charging me that much. But it's an option for people who need to book flights now when they don't have the type of money to pay for the flights. This is something you can offer to your client as like an advantage, right? So it's flexible, debt-free solution, which reduces the barrier to entry to just a small deposit, making the travel more accessible to all customers and helping you book your conversion and sales. Yeah. So no credit checks, late fees, or early exit fees. And this is another reason that they require to verify our credit card, or not our credit card, our debit card, etc., is because they're offering this ability to us. They're not going to ever like take it from you if the client doesn't pay. It doesn't work like that. Obviously, it's going to go to their credit, etc., right? So it doesn't actually affect you at all, but in order to offer something like this, they need to verify who you are, and that's exactly what that is, right? So Slice Play requires no guarantees from you as an agent and keeps you fully protected from chargebacks. So they need to verify you if they're going to do something like that, right? They don't want you out here running fraud, so they need to verify who you are. Customers can lock in their trip over the cost of their trip over up to 26 weeks or 13 biweekly installments. It's pretty cool, huh? And they have a video to show you exactly how to do it. So if you're ready to go in there and do so, you can find all about them, okay? So I really like to talk about them because it just kind of gives us an advantage. And so if you haven't booked your flight for Hawaii yet, check out Downtown Travel and check out Slice Bay if you need help paying for it. And honestly, the trip itself is cheaper. I feel like it was cheaper for the flight that I got for Hawaii too. Let's continue, shall we? I'm going to harp on that one because I really like that one. And then the last parts we have is my agency, my agents, and my account. To get approved for ticketing and all of that such, you will go to my account. That's where you put all your information in. I will not open these three, okay, or those two, clearly because I don't want to, do anything to violate any YouTube, etc. Right? So I just want to just kind of show you this so you guys can see it. This is the total idea of everything that they have. This is where they do their tours. They have car rental. They have all of this here. You can manage your account, and of course, important forms. Let's take a look at their hotels real quick. You guys can kind of get an idea for that. They do a lot of trips, like they do the Saudi Arabia, like Asia trips too, and so I like those. But you guys can come in here. We have hotels, we have packages, and just etc. Like I don't want to go too much through the actual like booking process because you guys know how to book things, right? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If we were to go, let's just say, I don't know, let's say Houston, yeah. We'll just do a package real quick. Let's say to Cancun because why not? That's where we all go. Mexico. Let's say the 4th of July. That's too close. Let's go to Memorial Day. I don't even know when Memorial Day is. Let's just pick something in here. Give us a little time to pay it off. Yeah. What do we have? Oh God, that's a big trip. That was they booked it. Hey. They threw us really far, didn't they? You all saw that? All right, there we go. 2 adults, sure. All right. We just need a few moments to update the results. Perfect. I like how they have both of them in there. Y'all really got to check out the what is this? Avant-garde. I cannot say those words. I'm from Alabama, okay? Like the fact that I got a master's degree and I'm from Alabama is a plus. That's good. You did good right there. You know what I'm saying? Cost me like 80 grand, but that's fine. All right. So click to choose. You have to choose your flights. You guys can come in here and actually upgrade your flights too. But let's just choose the room first because they have like Air B2B. So that means like a lot of it's going to be like how do I explain this? it's going to basically be like the broken down ones. They go all the way down. Okay, so they go from like the ones that are like in the city. All right, so it's still loading all of the options here. All right, come here, and then we're gonna do click to choose from 300 hotel options. Okay, now we obviously don't want that scary room that they just showed us. Look, they got the Desire Rivera Maya. Perfect. All right, breakfast included, all inclusive for couples, free cancellation. Perfect. Okay, yes, choose room. Thank you. All right, come on. Oof, that got pretty expensive when we put that room in there, right? That's fine. I'm just showing you an example. I have a $12 fee, not included in the price. Okay, that's cool. Perfect. All right, the flights aren't the best, but that works. They're pretty fast flights. Yeah, 5, 7. That one flight on the way back, those poor people. But okay, fine. Book. Yeah. All right. You can go in here and you can change your flights. You saw where it says choose from flights. You could just change your flights out. But let's just say this is what we wanted. It's pretty simple. Then we got down here where we're going to choose book. Right, so it tells us all the information. Thank you. You could get all the details in here, but honestly, if I was making like a flyer, look at all the stuff they have on here that you can include. If I was making a flyer, I would hide all of these details. Yeah, and then come right here, and I would just screenshot this right here. Just all of this. I would just that would be my quote right there, and then I'd come down here and get the information. All right, so we're going to come down to the bottom of this booking right here, and you're going to see something. Remember all the stuff that we're doing? You're like, why are we doing all of that? What do they need all this information for? That's because this is a consolidator, so nothing is tacked into it, like absolutely nothing. It's giving you like wholesale rates, etc. So we have to go in and add our commission, and they allow us up to 20% that we can add for the booking. So for this one, for example, you're going to see your commission has nothing in there. Now, it's not always that way. Sometimes, like if you do insurance, it pays 25% commission, so we'll have commission tacked in there. But for the most part, this is what it looks like. Okay, so you will come in here. Let's just say, let's charge three. Oh, that's a little much, right? $350. Then you will see where it's at right there, or it has the check to agency. Now, check to agency, you see how it says check to agency? Remember when they were asking you for your bank account information? Yeah, that's because they pay directly to us. They will pay to us, okay? We are the agency. Do you see why it's all playing along? Okay. Now, the processing for that is obviously going to be up to them. So I don't want to put any standards on it. So of course, when you're doing so, do so with your own due diligence. But honestly, I don't mind it that way. So that's pretty cool, right? So this is how it works for packages. It also works like this for hotels and even air tickets. This is basically like, okay, Downtown Travel is a consolidator, and they only sell to travel agents. They don't actually sell to consumers. So consumers have no way of doing any of this, right? So that gives us the advantage. And then, of course, let's just say we go and price compare this on Expedia. Now, obviously, you're not going to want to charge that much because it's probably going to be more than what the package is, but you want to do like a cross comparison of others. And if you find this to be cheaper, then, add it to as a tool on your tool belt, right? And I like it because it gives us the ability to have like another like cross comparison. I typically use this for air tickets. That's my most popular use. But they can do packages, hotels, they could do rental cars. They also do insurance. Now, with the insurance, it does work a little bit differently. They do pay commission on that, so you will see the commission tacked in. But other than that, normally when it comes out to it, this is what it looks like, and that's how you book with them. All right, so I'm going to head over to my studio now, so if you guys have any questions, I will meet you there. But just try them out, see how it can help you. I mean, I used it for my Hawaii trip just recently. That was the last time I used them, and they were great to work with. I highly recommend them. And Bill, our BDM, he's right there on Facebook. He's pretty great. But that is pretty much all I have for you guys tonight. I will see you guys back, of course, on where are we at? On here we have, what is this, on Tuesday? We're going to be doing, Most agents never get consistent bookings. Yeah, we're going to do a little deep dive, and this is going to be more like an accountability check is what is really that's going to be. All right, so join me, of course, back on Tuesday where we will go over that. But other than that, I hope you guys all have a fantastic evening. I'm going to head over to my studio now where I will meet you there to answer all of your questions. And if not, I'll see you back on Tuesday. Have a good night.